All right, guys. So, Love and Deep Space just dropped another trailer, and it is for Xavier's next myth, and it's called Fallen Crown. Now, right off the bat, I am obsessed with dark fantasy, so I am really obsessed with the imagery and symbolism we've got going on here. For those of you that don't know, I am writing a book, and it is very heavily dark fantasy with a few other elements thrown in. So, I'm using this as inspiration right now. It's phenomenal. So a couple of things I just want to look at this screen right now at this image here. The chains on the horse. Sorry, I noticed that first and I thought that was so cool. And the armor as well on the horse, Xavier's armor, obviously. The dark armor, just the dark crown as well. It suits him so much. I love the juxtaposition of light and dark we've got going on here. Xavier has a light evil, he's in this dark armor, and also his soft features, the way that they contrast with like all of this, it just works. It's absolutely stunning. Another thing I want to note is these flowers. So I love the light in the center of them. Now, it kind of reminded me of like a dying star flickering in and out because these are quite dark flowers here. Well, in this image, at least, they're dark. They look quite black, almost like they're dying. So it reminded me of like a dying star flickering, or even like Philos itself is a dying planet, or Xavier himself is a dying star. You know, the light is fading, but there is a light in the darkness as well at the same time. So yeah, I just my analytical brain immediately went to, "Oh my god, imagery, symbolism here. I'm gonna read way too much into this." But yeah, it's already looking incredibly powerful, and I'm really interested to see where this myth is going because Raphael's myth was a continuation, but almost like an alternative universe continuation of the sea god myth. So, I have a feeling this will be shooting stars, heavily inspired by the myth Shooting Stars, and yeah, it's gonna be some kind of alternative universe too, but also, like a sequel, a continuation, but alternative universe style. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's see what we're working with, and let's see what, symbolism, imagery, we get out of it, and obviously the quotes as well, the dialogue. Let's see.
Get on. The dead are trapped in a perpetual cycle. Only painful deaths await them. Leave while you still can, or you'll meet the same fate. This land only cares about you walking into its trap.
Okay, let's stop there. Um, so it seems like MC has been in a slumber until that light led me out of centuries of darkness. Now, this light could be Xavier, or it could just generally be fate itself awakening MC and going, "Hey, girl, it's time to wake up. We got stuff to do." So, right off the bat, we're looking at Starfall Forest, or at least a version of it if this isn't going to be called Starfall Forest in the myth. But we are definitely in a version of Starfall Forest where wanderers are still about, and Xavier, for some reason, is here and killing them as a king. So, I'm very curious as to why that is. And look at all of these swords. So, if these are the Wanderer's swords or Xavier's sword or even swords from the past, from other kings, other people, I don't really know what we're looking at here. It looks like a battlefield of sorts. I don't know. But it is really interesting to see that. My money's going on all of this being Xavier. I have a feeling Xavier might be trapped here. And the reason I say that is because he's asking MC to leave, but, he himself isn't. He's not going with her. And also, the dead are trapped in a perpetual cycle. Only painful deaths await them. So, now this is really far fetched. And you know what? I wouldn't be angry if this was wrong and not the way they're going. But to me, this almost reads like Xavier might as well be dead because he's stuck in this cycle of killing wanderers. So let's go back to shooting stars for a second. We know that in shooting stars, humans are fed to Philos and then they turn into wanderers, and Xavier finds this out. And then obviously the king discovers that MC is, this source of unlimited fuel for the planet. So he's like, awesome, let's just keep sacrificing you to keep the planet alive. We're going to keep you chained as our prisoner, essentially, and you will have to do this. And obviously, Xavier is like, absolutely not. So he makes her queen. He disappears to try and, save Philos, not just MC, but save Philos as well. I do believe that Xavier wants to save everyone. So it feels like in this alternative universe version, he is back as king, and I'm not sure how or why that is, but he definitely, it feels like he might as well be dead because he's stuck in this cycle of killing these wanderers who I'm sure he knew as his loyal subjects who have now turned into wanderers. We're in a very dark version of Philos here, if this is what we're looking at. And one of the other things to note is just look how dark this is. We've got hanging wanderers here, guys. We've got, all of these wanderers dead here with the swords in them. If this is Xavier's doing, this is dark. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's dark, and it reminds me of the dark fantasy games I used to play, the MMOs and like World of Warcraft, other RPGs, other like TV shows and movies I've watched. All of this feels like a very dark version of like if you guys have seen The Green Knight, King Arthur's Tales, things like that. This feels, I can't shake that feeling. It's so much darker than that. It's going like a level beyond that kind of dark fantasy and just further. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. And again, looking at the symbolism, the forget-me-nots, the flowers here, it's like there is this hope strewn amongst all this death and decay and destruction. There is hope here. The forget-me-nots are growing, in this desolate place. It's not just grass, it's not just weeds, it's flowers. There's hope in this darkness. I really, really like that symbolism. But yeah, let's continue because the flowers here, they keep coming up a lot. Flowers have a lot of like meaning in this myth, clearly. And another thing to note, just I noticed earlier on with Xavier is, let's just take a look at his armor. Yeah, so he's got like a silver shoulder pad here, and then he's got, a gold one here. And I just love that there's silver and gold kind of coming together in this, almost clashing a little bit. I noticed he had also like a gold flower on his armor as well. If I can find it. Here we are. Oh, this is perfect. Okay. So yeah, we've got silver here, the gold flower. Sorry guys, I'm so obsessed with the horse's armor. It's so cool. But yeah, we've got all of this juxtaposition of, gold, silver, the dark crown as well. I love this dark crown. I really, really want to know, what this is, why this is so dark, what the meaning behind this really is. But yeah, we've got a lot of great style design choices here that really mean something. So yeah, we've got a lot of contrasting imagery of light and dark, sharp, sharp features and softness, and just Xavier himself. So let's continue and see what else we can kind of learn from this.
Into its trap.
Savior, I curse you. You shall never find deliverance. You will be devoured in the act of slaughter.
Is that so? May your last words come to fruition.
Life and death, hand in hand. All must die.
Heed the king's words.
Sever sins.
Okay.
What cry?
All right. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about here. Okay, so immediately this voice saying, Xavier, I curse you, you shall never find deliverance. You will be devoured in the act of slaughter. My first immediate thought was his dad. Again, could be wrong, but this feels like his dad is the one cursing him. If we think about shooting stars, and if we think about this being in an alternative universe, it's possible his dad is the one that cursed him after Xavier rejected. He rejected the crown, he rejected wanting to use MC. And this is his dad cursing him in his final breath, saying, okay, fine then. You will forever be stuck in Starfall Forest. You will forever have to kill all the humans you used to know as wanderers, and you will never get out of this cycle. You will die doing this, and you will die for nothing, basically. So it kind of feels like that. Again, could be wrong. This could be a manifestation of Velos itself. I don't know. Maybe another deity. Who knows? You know, the writers are cooking with this. But to me, it feels very personal the way it said Xavier. So I don't know. We'll see. But that's not the only interesting thing. Why does Xavier say this? Why does he say, may your last words come into fruition? So he's saying, okay, you will be devoured by the act of slaughter. And Xavier's saying, I hope so. So it's almost like he knows that that will end this vicious cycle if that's what he's stuck in. I'm making a lot of assumptions here, guys, and I really shouldn't. But if we're looking at Xavier being trapped in a cycle or this planet being trapped in the cycle, he knows that his death will undo it somehow. I'm not sure, or maybe this is Xavier's way of saying, I'm tired. Who really knows? But that is a very, very loaded thing to say. Like, I hope I'm devoured. I hope that your last words do actually happen. It's yeah, it's so intriguing. There's so much mystery here. I really love that. And side note, really quickly, obviously the weapons, the imagery, everything looks fantastic, but MC, oh my god, she is looking absolutely phenomenal. Queen MC right there. Look at her. I I can't wait to get this outfit, guys. It looks so good. And obviously Xavier himself, this attack, all of this. I'm just yeah, I just wow. Oh, yeah, of course. Now, earlier on I said flowers seem to be playing a major part, and they really do. So this flower imagery here, look at this. This could be I say this a lot, guys, I know, but this could be a painting. And I think what I love about it is darkness is behind him, light is in front of him, the flowers, the power, you know, he's lighting up the darkness with his power. And to me, this feels like just a taste of Xavier's raw power. If he didn't have the collar, the evil suppressor that we know he has, this is just like a taste of his true power. I'm so excited to see Xavier's full potential. I think it will have, potentially devastating consequences, but I'm so excited to see why his power needs to be suppressed that badly. I do feel like he's a lot more powerful than we can even comprehend right now. But yeah, this imagery right here, the dark kingdom behind him and the path forward is filled with light and hope, and these flowers, like I said earlier, there's flowers growing in the darkness. There's this hope. So yeah, and I can't get over how good MC looks. But yeah, and also Xavier looking phenomenal. The animation here is absolutely fantastic. But let's continue, because I could go on and on about this for ages. So let's continue and see what else we're seeing.
The king's words.
Sever.
Sins. What crimes did I commit to become a sinner?
For sinners.
There shall be no mercy.
Is teaching the dead to cease their incessant chatter a crime? They are but vanquished foes. If that's the case, then our swords should be pointing in the same direction.
Okay. Yeah, definitely some things to talk about here. So, sins. An interesting quote here. Sins, what crimes did I commit to become a sinner? I mean, Xavier, that's a question only you can really answer. But no, in all seriousness, again, this theme of sin is coming up a lot in Love and Deep Space. I don't know if you guys have felt it or seen it, but you know how I was talking about, Xavier potentially being stuck in this cycle where he's killing wanderers for all eternity or whatever is going on if he's been cursed to do this? It almost feels like he is in hell. He pretty much might as well be dead. He's in hell. And he's reliving. Well, not reliving, but he's having to do these awful, awful things continuously because he is stuck in an eternity of pain and suffering and knowing he can never get out of it. And yeah, I don't know. It feels like that. And yeah, this idea of sin keeps coming up a lot, and I really want to look into it. But yeah, Xavier saying what crimes did I commit to become a sinner means, you know, so it feels like all of the love interests have defied a very grand being of some kind. They're defying how the story should go. Because MC's existence has broken the very foundation of reality, nature and time itself. MC's, you know, a whole existence should not be. And we do learn in Xavier's law, not Xavier's law, in Zane's law, he was supposed to kill her. He was supposed to get rid of the anomaly so that law and order could be restored, the balance of the, universe could be restored and things could go back to normal. But no, in Zane's law, he falls in love with her and he prevents this from happening. He refuses to take up his role at the Fractal Library, and there's a lot going on there. So within all of the other love interests routes, it feels like they have pissed off some grand, being of some kind. In Xavier's case, I believe it's his dad, and possibly Philos itself, if, Philos has some kind of entity. I mean, MC is the cosmos. You know what I mean? She is. So there's nothing stopping us from saying Philos itself could, be an entity of some kind or a collective consciousness. Who knows? Maybe things are getting a little far-fetched now in my brain, but I'm just talking out loud to you guys. So anyway, yes. So Xavier, being punished for whatever he did, which is obviously, in my head, he refused to let MC be used, therefore he got punished and he got cursed, at least in this universe. I don't know. It feels like that. And again, is teaching the dead to cease their incessant chatter a crime? Again, this goes back to the Wanderers. Although it's very interesting the way he says this, is teaching the dead to cease their incessant chatter a crime? So, he's frustrated by this, and yeah, it does feel like he's stuck in a cycle and he's sick of this and he wants out. He wants this all to be over and he wants to find a way to make sure it's all over. And I think MC being here is bad news for her. And probably Xavier himself, actually, because she is the one that can stop this, I think. But yeah, let's continue, because this is kind of blowing my mind a little bit lore-wise. It's so interesting. So yeah, let's get back into it.
Same direction. Hold tight. Do you like this one? You have a unique way of showing affection. Nimble and light when you hold it. It's perfect for your skill level. It managed to strike the crown, has good durability, and is good as a sword. We don't need it. Once they're used to caring for each other, they'll never be apart. The sun is coming out. We won't be cold for much longer. We'll always be together.
And there it is, love and depression. Okay, sorry, I got really into that. I couldn't stop it. Okay, lots to talk about. So like I said, the flower imagery coming back, this is that hope. This is what the world should look like. And Xavier and MC should be able to frolic on a field together, with all of these flowers, all of this hope. And I mean, just look at this. Faith built on lies, pilgrimage paths laid with bones. So this is the humans turning into wanderers, the humans being sacrificed. This is all of that. This is Shooting Stars, but like a continuation or a different alternative universe version of it. Just reading all of that. The King and Queen sword cleaves through the conspiracy of eternity. So they are fighting back against, Philos having to use you know, humans to sustain itself, humans turning into wanderers and all of that stuff. So yeah, there's definitely echoes here of shooting stars. But also, um, just look at this. They always do this to us, where they give us the most romantic scenes ever, and I can't really. Oh, it's depressing, guys. Um, so when the storm passes, the time will come from the promised reunion in a world filled with sunlight and flower fields. So, when the storm passes, when all of this is over, the time will come for the promised reunion in a world filled with sunlight and flower fields. So, this is really interesting. Flowers have so much meaning in Love and Deep Space, and they're really coming to the forefront now. So, flowers representing. I guess it is that rebirth, you know, that hope, that new world, that universe that's put together, you know, yeah, it feels very much like that. But let's go into, you know, this. Let's go into this. Okay, right. So, this is a battlefield. Look at this. The flags, you know, the ruined flags, the swords in the ground. There's been a battle here. Look, I think these might be dead bodies or dead wanderers. I can't tell. I'll be honest. Let me see if I can find a close up of what's going on. Let's see. Yeah, we've got swords, we've got yeah, armor, shields, looks like staffs, flags, yeah. So some kind of battle here. This is a desolate battlefield. Um so something major happened here, and this could also, you know, be reminiscent of you know, Xavier cleaning up this place or trying his best to. I think I'm just trying to figure out what this means. The cinder flows on, and wandering revenants at last return home. Here the queen and king lie in slumber, their story etched into eternity. So they're both dead. They actually, that's interesting. I was expecting MC to be the one who dies, but do you know what this feels like? It almost feels Romeo and Juliet like, because I don't think Xavier here is actually dying. I think he's choosing to, because finally they did it, or they didn't do it and they realize there's no other way out. And that's it for them. But they've done their job. They've managed to do whatever. This battlefield to me just screams, we did it, but at what cost? So yeah, it's really interesting. I can't. My mind is going like it's racing, guys. This is so cool. Yeah, let's have a quick look at some other bits and bobs, but I'm probably not going to spend too much time on them. Yeah, I think this whole myth has got shooting stars vibes, Starfall Forest, a continuation of that. You know, a kind of alternative version story of it where Xavier is king, he has been cursed. It looks like he might be stuck here. I don't know. Could be very wrong about all of that. Obviously, I'm willing to be, but it's just, yeah, it's not looking great, guys. This is looking even worse in terms of like sadness than Raphael Smith. Like at least Raphael survived that. It looks like both of them aren't surviving this one. So yeah, I can't wait to see. But let's have a quick look at what else is there, and then I'm gonna wrap up.
However, you're still in my hands. Is this form of etiquette sufficiently respectful toward the Chosen One?
Ooh, the Chosen One. Interesting. That would make a lot of sense. If she awoke from a slumber, thanks to Xavier, or, you know, hey girl, wake up, fate is calling, you got some stuff to do. So, very interesting.
The sunlight and flowers are too peaceful. They could use a lively friend.
Oh my god, MC's dark outfit. Holy, oh my goodness. Sorry guys. I'm gonna continue that dark outfit, wow.
must be. Watch out. It's trying to take you down with it.
Watch out. It's getting...
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Only you can decide your fate. End the story if you can't change it.
Damn, guys, that is looking amazing. Okay, I'm definitely pulling for this. I didn't actually think I would be. I thought I would pull for it initially, but I need MC's dark outfit. I'm like obsessed with that. But yeah, those are my first initial thoughts. It looks like we're in an alternative universe. It looks like a continuation of Shooting Stars. Perhaps Xavier is stuck in a perpetual cycle. I'm not sure, but something is going on here. And the most intriguing thing for me that I can't wait to be explained is this battlefield here. What happened here? What is going on? I'm always much better when I actually sit down, consume lore, do research. These videos and these reaction videos are just things off the top of my head first initially when I watch them. So I can't wait to sit down and actually play the myth and then put the pieces together and, do my whole analytical thing of, aha, this is what this means and this is the symbolism here, and yeah, again, just my interpretation, guys. I know you enjoy watching me and my the way that I interpret things and stuff, and that's really, really nice, but I still love to hear your guys' interpretation. So please let me know in the comments if you're a huge Xavier fan and you immediately saw things in this trailer that I did not. Please let me know in the comments, because I really want to dig into it before this myth comes out. And yeah, so thank you very much, guys, for watching, and as always, stay frosty.